Alex Hormozi on a podcast. Luke Belmar telling you he studied or Tate shirtless in the emergency meeting. They're everywhere. They repeat their message over and over again. And through this, they exploit a psychological phenomenon that alone made them millions. The brain is wired to trust what it recognizes. The more often you hear or see something, the more fluent your mind becomes at processing it. And that fluency is misread as truth and competence. It doesn't matter if the content is complex or shallow, repetition alone makes it stick. This is the mere exposure effect. It evolved as a survival mechanism. Familiar things were less likely to be threats. Today, it makes repetition feel like expertise. See the same face 5 times in 5 places and the brain starts labeling it as relevant, credible and even dominant. So produce as much content as possible and push it across every platform until you and your message are omnipresent and impossible to ignore. That alone will make people follow and trust you. Combine that with actual expertise like Hormozi, Belmar and Tate and it's just a matter of time until you're powerful and rich. You think you're curious, that you want to learn things. But in reality, the only thing you care about is avoiding discomfort, not expanding your knowledge. That's how TikTokers and the movie industry manipulate you with clickbait and cliffhangers. And the secret behind this will shock you. The information gap theory explains how humans react when they notice a gap between what they know and what they want to know. But this gap doesn't create curiosity. It creates discomfort. The brain treats the unknown as a threat to control. It creates internal pressure to dissolve the tension, and the closer the answer feels, the stronger that pressure gets. That's why vague headlines, cliffhangers, and open loops are so effective. The brain fixates, not because the content is valuable, but because the missing part feels like a problem that has to be solved. Your headlines, captions, and intros should always create friction between what the viewer knows and what they feel they're about to know. Leave loops open and let their brain do the chasing. The same goes for everyday interactions. Don't explain everything. Let people chase, create these loops in their head, and they won't be able to stop thinking about you.
When you call someone arrogant, manipulative, or fake, you're not describing them, you're exposing yourself. The things you hate in others are the things you can't face in yourself. They are nothing more than reflections of your own shortcomings. It's called projection, and it exists to protect your ego. The brain can't tolerate a self-image that conflicts with reality, so it pushes unwanted traits outward, onto others. You feel envy, but call them greedy. You feel fear, but call them controlling. That way you get to feel morally superior while leaking every weakness onto the people around you. And the more intense your reaction, the more precise the mirror. You don't get triggered by strangers for no reason, you get triggered when someone forces you to confront what you've been suppressing. That's why your judgments are never neutral, they're confessions. Nothing exposes people more than projection. Watch what they criticize without thinking. It's almost always the same traits, repeated again and again, and those traits rarely describe others, they describe them. Track those patterns, and you'll know more about a person than they know about themselves.